Okay, so today we're going deep on this wild story of Seema Haider.
Yeah, this should be a good one.
Yeah. She went from Sindh province in Pakistan all the way to Greater Noida, India.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So we've got all these notes right here.
Oh, huh?
They lay out everything that happened, and we're going to try to figure this whole thing out. Like, what were the big moments, and what are the different ways of looking at it? Like, is it a love story? Is it a crime story? What is it?
Yeah, exactly. And for everyone listening at home, what are the things that stand out? Like, what's important about this?
Yeah, totally. And, I mean, just skimming these notes, there are some seriously surprising twists and turns.
Absolutely. Like, at the most basic level, this is a cross-border love story that started online.
Yeah.
Like, they met playing a video game.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, it blew up from there. We're talking alleged illegal border crossings.
Seriously?
Yeah, and a whole mess of legal stuff.
Wow, okay, so let's start at the beginning. So these notes say that Seema was living in Sindh province in Pakistan. She was married to a guy named Ghulam Haider. Okay. And he was working in Saudi Arabia.
Gotcha.
And they had 4 kids together.
So it sounds like a pretty normal family.
Right. Like totally normal, except, the husband working abroad. It seems like that might have been a big factor in everything that happened.
Yeah, I mean, being that far apart for so long, that can definitely put a strain on a relationship.
For sure. And that kind of leads us to PUBG. Yeah. So apparently around 2020, Seema starts playing this online game, PUBG. And she meets this guy named Sachin Meena.
Okay.
And he lives in Greater Noida in India.
So they're completely different countries.
Yeah. But they start talking online, just as friends at first.
Right.
But then it turns into this whole romance.
That's pretty wild. I mean, considering, like, the whole India-Pakistan thing.
I know, right?
Right.
It's kind of amazing. It shows you how powerful these online platforms can be.
Totally. Like, they can bring people together no matter where they are or what's going on between their countries.
Exactly. And then in March 2023, things get really crazy. Like, seriously crazy.
Wow. What happened?
So Seema travels to Kathmandu in Nepal.
Okay.
And she meets up with Sachin.
In person?
Yeah. And they have this, marriage ceremony.
Wow.
At this famous temple called the Pashupatinath Temple.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The temple authorities later said that non-Hindus can't get married there legally.
So, was the marriage even real?
Exactly. And if it wasn't legal in Nepal, does that mean it's not legal in India?
Right. Like, what does that mean for them?
Yeah, it's a huge mess. And then, just a couple of months later, in May 2023, Seema does something even crazier.
What?
She crosses the border from Nepal into India illegally.
No way.
Yeah, and she takes all 4 of her kids with her.
Wow. She's really committed to this guy.
I know, right? Like, it's bold, but also kind of reckless.
Yeah, I mean, legally speaking,
yeah,
that's a huge deal. Like, breaking immigration laws, that can have some serious consequences.
For both of them.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's exactly what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, in July 2023, both of them got arrested.
Wow.
Seema was arrested for entering India illegally, and Sachin for helping her, for harboring her.
Right.
They were later released on bail, but they still have to deal with all the legal issues.
Yeah, I bet. This whole thing just goes to show that no matter how you feel about someone or how much you love them, you gotta respect the law. Like, borders are there for a reason.
Absolutely. Oh, and there's another twist.
Another one.
Yeah, this is where Seema's first husband, Ghulam Haider, comes back into the picture.
Okay.
He's saying that he and Seema never actually got divorced. So if that's true, then her second marriage, the one with Sachin, might not even be legal.
Wow.
Yeah, and Ghulam wants Seema and the kids to come back to Pakistan.
That's a lot to unpack.
I know, right? It's like, where do you even begin? You've got these personal choices, this love story, but then you've got the law, and you've got these 2 countries, India and Pakistan.
Right, like their whole history, everything.
Exactly. And then our notes jump forward to March 2025.
Okay.
And we find out that Seema had a baby girl.
So she had Sachin's baby.
Yeah. And they're all living together in Greater Noida, all 5 kids, and Seema and Sachin.
So they're really trying to make a life together.
It seems like it, but I mean, are they ever going to be free from all this legal stuff? It's hard to say.
Yeah. And even if they can sort that out, what about everything else? Like, how are people going to view them?
That's a good question, because these notes mention that there are all these different opinions about Seema and Sachin.
Yeah.
Some people see this whole thing as a love story, like a triumph of love over adversity. But then other people, they're more focused on the law. Like, did they break the law? And what about national security?
Right, because it is a pretty big deal when someone crosses a border illegally.
Yeah, and it sounds like people in both India and Pakistan are really divided on this issue.
I can see why. I mean, it really makes you think about the tension between what individuals want and what countries need.
Like, what's more important?
Right.
Yeah.
And also how the world is changing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're all so connected now, but there are still these borders and these rules.
And sometimes those two things clash.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is a crazy story. We've got love, we've got legal battles, we've got international drama.
It really shows you how someone's personal life can become this huge public thing.
Totally. And for everyone listening,
yeah,
this case is a perfect example of how complicated things can get when people fall in love across borders.
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to do when the person you love is from a country that's not exactly friendly with yours?
Right. It's a really tough situation, and there's so many different ways to look at it.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, here's a final question for everyone to think about.
Okay, I'm listening.
What does Seema Haider's story tell us about the way relationships and borders are changing in our increasingly interconnected world?
That's a really good question.
Something to think about. And thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It was a good one.
Yeah, until next time.